In the fragile light of the world's first days, the people of the stone valleys knew no walls, no shelters but rock and branch. Their faces were the faces of a time before memory, heavy-browed, strong-jawed, eyes set deep like dark jewels beneath the shadow of bone. This morning, the air carried a weight, a silence that made the old hunters still their breath. Down in the shadowed gorge, the beast emerged, a cave bear, a towering wall of muscle and claw, its fur matted with last night's rain, its nose lifted to taste the wind. It had smelled them. They spoke without words, for sound might draw the beast nearer. Lips curled back in a silent snarl of fear, heavy brows lowering over eyes that darted between the trees. The youngest clutched a sharpened bone spear, knuckles white, while the elder pointed toward the river's bend where the giant's shadow slid through the reeds. The cave bear's head swung from side to side, testing the air with the patience of a predator who had never known defeat. They moved like shadows among the trees, bent low, feet silent on the wet loam. Yet the great bear came after them, drawn by the scent of flesh and fire smoke on their skins. Its shoulders rolled like the tide, each step eating the ground, claws carving furrows in the earth. The people's hearts beat like war drums in their chests. The forest's green silence was now broken only by the sound of the beast's breathing, steady, hungry, unhurried. Branches whipped against their faces, leaving beads of blood on skin hardened by wind and sun. Their features, ancient, raw, unsoftened by time, were set in masks of pure survival. Behind them, the bear crashed through the green world, each stride a shudder in the earth. Saplings split, roots tore free, and the air was thick with the musk of its fur. The youngest stumbled, but a rough hand yanked him up. To falter now was to die. In the clearing, they halted, chests heaving. The old one, his deep-set eyes scanning the stone walls, saw the narrow throat of rock to the east. His heavy brow shadowed the flicker of hope. Through there, he rasped without words, his hand carving the air. But from the shadows behind, the sound came, low, deep, like the earth's own voice, warning them that the giant still followed. The stone pressed cold against their shoulders as they slid into the passage. Firelight danced over their jutting cheekbones and wide noses, eyes wide in the gloom. Then came the scrape of claws on rock, and the thunder of a roar that filled the narrow space. The bear forced itself forward, stone grinding against its ribs, jaws snapping at shadows. Its fury was a living thing. Night fell heavy and black, swallowing the forest beyond. They sat pressed together, the warmth of the fire barely touching the chill in their bones. Their ancient faces glistened with sweat, shadows pooling in the hollows of their eyes. Beyond the mouth of the cave, the bear moved, its bulk blotting out the stars for a heartbeat. Its eyes burned in the dark, a molten hunger. The first light bled into the sky, painting the mist in pale silver. They stepped from the cave, feet sinking in wet moss, the stream's voice guiding them forward. Their heavy brows furrowed as they scanned the fog. None saw the ridge above, where the bear's shadow slipped between stones, its breath rising in pale clouds. The hunt had not ended, it had only changed shape. The log groaned under their weight, the ravine yawning black below. One by one they crossed, eyes fixed on the far side, until the world split open in a roar. Behind them, the green wall exploded as the bear came, claws tearing bark, eyes wild. The youngest screamed, nearly losing his grip. A spear clattered into the abyss. They planted their feet in the mud, brows drawn low over eyes burning with defiance. The spears shook in their hands but did not lower. The bear came in a storm of muscle and rage, its mouth a red cavern. The clash was not of equals, it was the defiance of the fragile against the eternal. The paw struck like a boulder, lifting the man from the earth. He fell hard, the breath torn from him, pain blazing across his jaw and ribs. His deep-set eyes rolled in agony, but rough hands seized him, pulling him back from the killing ground. The bear roared, furious that prey had slipped its reach. The sky broke, spilling cold needles of rain. Water streamed down their jutting brows and over strong jaws, soaking the hides on their backs. They staggered on, bearing the wounded between them. Through the sheets of rain, the bear followed, its great head low, eyes gleaming, patient as stone. The cliff rose before them, sheer and jagged. A narrow ledge clung to its face like a scar. In their eyes, deep in the shadows of bone, flickered a desperate plan. They would lead the beast here, where rock and gravity could be turned against it. It was a gamble with only one prize, survival. Their voices rose, harsh and raw against the roar of the rain. Heavy brows knotted, jaws clenched, they beat their spears on stone, calling the monster forward. The bear saw them, and rage flared in its golden eyes. It surged toward the ledge, its bulk a living avalanche. The earth shuddered as the beast's weight struck the ledge. Cracks spidered beneath its paws. The people stood frozen, breath held, hope a fragile spark in the storm. One more step. One more heartbeat. With a sound like the tearing of the world, the ledge gave way. The bear fell, a roar of fury and fear twisting into the wind. Stones and dust swallowed it. The people stood above, rain mingling with the salt of their tears, their ancient faces carved in awe. Down they went, each step slow, eyes cutting through the drifting mist. The bear lay twisted among shattered stone, chest still. Yet they knew, life clung stubbornly to such beasts. The spears lowered toward its heart. The elder stepped forward, shadow falling across the giant's flank. His heavy brow cast darkness over eyes that had seen too much. With a cry that was both victory and mourning, he drove the spear home. The beast shuddered once, and the forest was still. They gathered in a circle, silent in the steaming quiet. Sunlight poured between torn clouds, gilding the wet fur of the fallen giant. Their faces, shaped by the dawn of time, bore the weight of what had been taken, and what had been survived. Stone blades flashed, parting hide from muscle. The great pelt would warm them through many moons. Above, the young watched with wide eyes, learning the harsh truth: to live here, something else must die. The fire's warmth seeped into their bones, its light painting their jutting brows and strong jaws in gold. The smell of meat drifted through the still air. Beyond the ring of firelight, the forest held its breath, as if acknowledging the passing of a king. From the cooling carcass, the elder took a claw, curved and wicked. He threaded it onto rawhide and placed it around the boy's neck. The gesture spoke louder than words. Courage had been earned in blood. They left the place of death behind, feet squelching in the soft earth. The pelt swayed between them, heavy with the scent of wild power. Though the hunt had ended, their eyes still searched the shadows. Always, there was another predator. The river sang softly under the stars. They lay by the embers, their ancient faces unguarded in rest. Yet in their dreams, the roar still came, echoing down corridors of bone and memory. Morning broke in golden fire. The boy stood tall, the claw resting against his chest. His heavy brow and deep eyes caught the sun's first light. In the silence of the waking world, he understood, the story of the great bear would live as long as the people did.